Good day, Erongo Talk viewers. My name is Adam Hartman, and we are standing here on the lagoon, Walvis Bay Lagoon Pier. It's a cool, overcast day, but we hope to warm it up with our show. We have, as usual, the weather and the tides, and we'll be having an interview with the chairperson of the Regional Electricity Regulators Association, Mr. Elijah Sichone, who will be talking to us about the issues that came up at their recent conference held at Swakopmund under the theme Enhancing Electricity Access and Performance. And then we'll obviously be bringing you some news highlights related to the region, so stay tuned. Some local news. Last week we had the ongoing trial of Miss Cheryl Green, who was arrested in 2019 for the alleged possession of cannabis plants, cannabis seed and cannabis oil. The state brought on its last witness, which was Mrs. Cheryl Green's partner, Mr. Rainer Kring, 69 years old, who is suffering from a debilitating motor neuron disease. He walked slowly into the court chambers with the assistance of a walker. He was in pain. He lost a lot of weight. His speech was unclear. The magistrate even allowed him to sit down instead of stand when he was witnessing. Mr. Kring basically told the court that his partner, Mrs. Green's intentions were not criminal whatsoever, but she had done a lot of research in the CBD component of cannabis, which has very strong medicinal qualities. And she managed to construct or create a superior CBD oil, which she then used to treat Mr. Kring for his motor neuron disease. He explained that before this treatment, his condition was zero. He was in pain. He could not walk. He could not talk. He could not remember anything. He could do nothing. Once he started receiving the treatment, his condition actually improved significantly, were his words, that he could eventually sleep better, he could eat more, his pain went away, he could start walking without the walker, he could even start doing some work. And then, unfortunately, once the police raided the house and confiscated all the cannabis items, he could not receive the treatment anymore, and he said he just went downhill from there. And this was basically his testimony to the court in this trial. The cannabis comprises of the two components. We have the THC component, which is highly addictive and illegal in Namibia, no matter what the quantities are. And then there's the CBD component, as was mentioned, is the medicinal aspect, the healthy aspect. And the trial is about, you know, what exactly was the intention of Mrs. Green. Was it to heal? And was she using legal components, or were there illegal substances involved, like THC? The court matter was postponed to next month for final submissions by the lawyer and the state. The second story has to do with Walvis Bay's Farm 37, the low-cost housing development just east of Walvis Bay. That's being developed. The municipality issued a statement recently, last week, that there are individuals who are misrepresenting the municipality, going about town and going to people and offering a registration for Farm 37 Urban, saying that the people can do down payments, they must just do a deposit and give in their names and all that type of stuff. But this money is not being funneled to the municipality. It's being stolen basically by these fraudsters. And the municipality warned the community to say, listen here, if it's not done by the municipality with proper municipal credentials, then people should be aware of these people, these individuals, and should report them immediately to the police so that they can be prosecuted, because this is a criminal offense. So people be careful of that. There are lots of people who are in need of land, who are in need of housing, and who are easy targets for swindlers. So take care of this warning. Our final story is a sports story from Swakopmund, more of a light-hearted story. The Swakopmund football club, they are looking for girls to join their youth football academy, because they want to start a girls teams, under 9 and under 11 girls teams. They are looking for at least 20 girls. At the moment, they've only got 4, which is obviously not enough to make teams. But they believe that soccer for women in the world is a sport that is growing very fast, and they want to be part of this this transformation where kids are, where the girls are involved, where they can develop these girls into becoming good national and even international players. So, if you're interested, to send your daughter between 8 and 10 to attend this football academy, you can contact the academy and find out more details. That's it for now. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for having me. My name is Sichone. I am the Executive Director of the Regional Energy Regulators Association of Southern Africa. In short, it's called RERA. We are here in the beautiful city of Swakopmund this week with a series of activities which started on Monday and we will end on Friday. But let me start with the main activity that basically involves everybody before I talk about the specific activities or events that are for the RERA members. Tomorrow we are going to have the conference, and this conference is focusing on enhancing electricity access and performance. That's the theme for the events that we are having this week. 3 very interesting topics are going to be discussed, during the theme. So we have 3 interesting sessions. The first session is going to focus on exploiting renewable energy and energy efficiency. We want to really encourage clean energy, and sources such as solar and wind are very important in that regard. But we also want to promote energy efficiency, because the cheapest unit you can have is by saving energy. It reduces on the consumption, but also it reduces on the expenditure, and it also enables the country not to invest in capacity that is not necessary. So clean energy, renewable, and energy efficiency, that's very, very important. The second topic or session that we're going to have is basically looking at facilitating regional transmission infrastructure development. As we develop these renewable energy resources, as we develop more power plants, We want the power to be able to flow from where it is generated to where it is needed. And to be able to do that, the transmission system or network is very critical. And therefore, that's an important topic that we are looking at. The last but not necessarily the least is improving the commercial viability of utilities. For the utility to provide a service that is of good quality, the service and products that are okay, it is important that they have the means financially to be able to do that. So commercial viability is very critical for the sake of service quality and supplying and meeting the requirements of the consumers. So that's just in a nutshell the 3 sessions or topics that will be the gist of the conference that will be happening. But preceding the conference has been a series of activities. On Monday, we had the executive committee. This is a board meeting, basically, reviewing the work of the organization, but also planning for the week ahead. On the second day, which was Tuesday, the 22nd of February 2022, we had what we call Board Members Forum. This is an exclusive forum for our board members to discuss to one another on a peer-to-peer basis. And the topic which they were discussing was regulatory governance, the role and responsibilities of board members. I think it's very, very critical that they also understand what is expected of them, as board members. Then today we are having again very interesting side events back to back, 4 of them. And the first side event basically is focusing on, it focused on key performance indicators. These are the indicators that we need to be able to benchmark our utilities, to benchmark our service providers, and use those benchmarks to be able to improve the services of, that are offered by the various utilities. So key performance indicators are important because we use them as a basis to basically regulate the energy sector. The second topic was basically focusing on issues around climate change. The climate change issue is also real, and we need to do something to be able to make sure that we minimize the impact of climate change. So we are looking at other models of promoting renewable energy, and we had a very interesting presentation by one of the companies, but we're also looking at the role that regulators can play in terms of addressing the issues around climate change, but also the transition from, fossil fuels or energy that is not that clean to what you call as modern and clean energy. So there is what is popularly now called just energy transition, and we are saying what can the regulators do in that regard. The session that is basically happening right now in terms of the third side event is the one that is looking at evaluating regulatory independence. The regulators, by their nature, are supposed to be impartial in the way they conduct their business, and therefore the idea is, can we really look at what it is that defines independence of a regulator, and then can we also look at some of the challenges that we're experiencing in terms of promoting regulatory independence, because independence means you are not being influenced by one group. All what you're doing is you're trying to balance the interest of all stakeholders in a fair and just manner. Then once you really look at what independence entails, you also look at some of the challenges that are encountered in regulatory independence. Then we discuss also what are the possible options or measures that we can basically try and promote to be able to address issues around regulatory independence. Then the last one is going to focus on capacity building and gender mainstreaming. The regulators need to have the capacity to carry out the mandate for which they were established, and therefore capacity building initiatives are extremely important, because for regulators these are knowledge-based institutions, and the single biggest asset that they have is human capital that needs to be developed. But also the energy sector by its nature is not so gender positive. By that I mean it is skewed towards one gender, and therefore we need to be able to say, how do we try and also balance the gender? And mainly here, basically, we are talking about facilitating the participation of women in the energy sector. So gender mainstreaming will be one of the topics. And tomorrow, the day after tomorrow, after the conference, we are going to have the annual general meeting. This basically we will review the business and performance of the organization, looking at last year, but also plan for this year, 2022. And more interestingly and more importantly, we are going to have elections for a new executive committee that is going to serve RERA from this year up until the end of next year. Thank you.
Platz am Meer is a landmark on the coastline of Namibia, a home to quality shops and quality restaurants, a select variety of fashion and food retailers, as well as banks, not to mention the pier with 36 luxury apartments and entertainment for the whole family. Find us at corner of Tabarite and Albatross Street, Vineta North, Swakopmund. Call us on 064 462 242. Visit platzammeer.com.na or at Platz am Meer on Facebook. Platz am Meer, enhancing your coastal experience.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Melissa and I am a red belt Kyokushin karateka. Today's self-defense tip. Let's say you're walking down the street and you get attacked. It's always important to remember the body's sensitive areas. So these are the neck, the throat, esophagus area right here, the groin area over here, and as well as the back over here. So these are the places that you can punch or kick in order to get your opponent going down, and that's when you run away. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Stay safe.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, welcome to another exciting edition.
So we've come to the end of our show today. We thank you very much for joining us. If you want to follow more about the news that we spoke about and other news, you can go to our website at erongo.com.na. We also have some news tip contact details, the news tip number below, as well as the email address. If you have any news tips, good or bad, send it to us and we can follow it up. And also our broadcast platforms and our social media platforms, please follow us there as well, on Facebook and as well as on oneup2.com.na. We wish you an excellent day further. Goodbye.